So it's no surprise I'm a huge fan of card games. I mean, if you ask anyone of my friends or anyone who's known me, I'm a huge fan of card games. You know, I played a lot of them. Pokemon, Digimon was fun. But the one I've liked is Cardfight Vanguard. Thank you, my love. Guess you want to do this with me today, aren't you?
Yes.
We got a guest today. Hey people, welcome to Memory Card, and today I actually have a special guest, one of my best friends, Cal. He is here to actually talk about this wonderful game, this actually game that we both enjoy playing. We're going to talk about Vanguard EX up on the Switch, aren't we, my love?
Yes. Husbando.
Husbando? El Grandio. September 19th, 2019, Japan got Vanguard EX released to them. Now, it was only released on the Nintendo Switch and the PlayStation 4. It cost a pretty bit of yen, but well worth it in my eyes. It did come with a promo exclusive card though. Excalculate the Blaster. Ooh. Not the good one. The old one. As for story, well...
The story, obviously for European, it's really difficult to kind of follow because all of the text is in Japanese. I mean, I was essentially going by the character faces and stuff like that, their expressions, and you know, so it was very hard to kind of follow the story, I guess. But I get the main gist of it is you're really new to Vanguard. From what I can gather, you've never played the game before. You get a tutorial match. You end up starting the game with a Dragonic Overlord deck, so that's Kagero clan for people that don't know. And yeah, then you kind of start your adventure from there. So you start off at your own school, you get a tutorial, and then you kind of quickly move on to the other characters in the anime. But first up, they're pretty much tutorial matches as well, but the first two matches are basically against Kamui, and then you go up against Miwa. So Kamui does become a bit of a bigger part of the story later on. So both of them use the same deck, but it's just to let you get a feel for the game, I guess. You know, learn the buttons, learn the mechanics of the game. Yeah, I mean, it works out quite well.
The story seems to be a typical Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force plot in our eyes, where you're the nameless character and you journey through a really bland plot, by the sounds of it, to gain decks and characters just in order just to test your might.
As far as I'm aware, I wasn't even halfway through, and you go up against the character and everyone is completely shocked that you as a noob has beaten this character. So it does make it quite a strange experience to be going through that. It does make it feel like, it does give you a sense of importance where it feels like you are the new protagonist of Vanguard. Just from the gist of the anime, each player has their own clan that they play. So you have, for example, Shadow Paladin, Royal Paladin, Kagero. Throughout the game, you can basically change decks whenever you please. So as a real life player, obviously you get that decision. And in a lot of ways, I kind of hope that it would let you pick at the beginning of the game what clan you were going to be, and then you would just upgrade that one as you go. I mean, it is good that you can just chop and change decks, but like I said, it kind of takes that personality away from your feel as the protagonist, really. For the likes of going up against Aichi or Kai, they are the main characters of the anime, so you kind of hope that you're going to be able to compete with them as a protagonist, but it just doesn't really hit that sweet spot for me, to be honest.
The gameplay mechanics are similar to actually how you play Vanguard itself. You're given a 50 card deck that is broken down into different grades. You ride up to each grade from 0 to 3, and using different skills can gain leverage over your opponent.
So basically, during the gameplay in this is incredible, in my personal opinion. It's very coherent to the actual card game. It runs really smoothly. There is a wee bit of a gap in when you're doing the drive checks in the game. It just kind of I don't know, it just slows the gameplay down that little bit, but to be honest, unless you're a veteran at the game, I don't think you'll really notice it too much. However, like I said, the game is really well put together, runs incredibly smoothly. But yeah, I mean, the animations are great. I do feel like they could have done a bit more with that as well, but for the first installment into what will hopefully be a larger franchise in the future to come, they've done a pretty good job. I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. You have cards like Blaster Dark, Blaster Blade. When you ride them as your Vanguard, you swing with the attack, and there's a nice little sort of, that is your Vanguard / avatar animation, so you get a extra special sort of slashing animation hitting your opponent's card, which is, it's a nice little addition, you know.
These animations I find are very similar to the aforementioned Tag Force. This feels like it's very within the realms of card game based games, where if it's a very familiar unit, it will get a very amazing cutscene. Take Duel Links for example, near enough every famous card in that game has a cutscene. Vanguard EX now follows suit in that same sense. What sets it differently from all these other games I've mentioned is the fact there's an addition thing called EX Gift. Once beating certain characters, you are given the EX gifts to use freely in battle. There are 7 that's beaten through story mode, and then there are the rest that can be unlocked by beating specific characters. Some of them are actually pretty cool named, for example, Psyqualia, the MacGuffin of the series, Final Turn, Toshiki Kai's famous line, to even out something that's absolutely out the ordinary going, wait a minute. These just give it a bit more extra push, because you do feel like the protagonist when playing them. There will be nothing give me or Cal more than the full feel of Jutters when you go Final Turn.
Going back to the basis of the skills, really, I have unlocked all of them now. I've tried them all out, but if I'm perfectly honest, I don't really think they do much to the game. I mean, the Psyqualia one kind of gives you the sort of... It gives you the perspective to see if your opponent is going to reveal a trigger when you have at least 4 or more damage. However, again, maybe I'm just speaking from a player's point of view, but for the amount of time that myself and Alistair have been playing, you kind of work around that anyway. So for a new player, they might be able to have a fair amount of fun with it. But like I said, for myself, it just didn't really go that extra mile for me.
Once beating an opponent, you're rewarded VP points. These can go towards buying extra boosters to upgrade your deck. And luckily for you, there is an array of booster packs out there, which are based upon the actual booster packs that are released to this day, or ones that are generic clan types, which allows you to upgrade that specific deck you really want.
The way you deck build in this game is lots of fun. To be honest, it's what I spend most of my time doing, playing the game now. As much as the game is beginning to evolve again, it's still really good to use as a deck building tool. It's nice and smooth, gets the job done. It clearly displays your grades from 0 through to 3, 4 occasionally for some decks, and adding in your cards is incredibly easy. Also, there are CP points as well that allow you to actually... So if you get duplicates of cards out of the packs, they evolve into what they call CP points. Basically, these are used to spend on cards that you may have already pulled, but you can repurchase extra copies of that card at a discounted price, which is really nice if you're just trying to do those finishing touches to your deck or little tweaks here and there. Unfortunately, this doesn't count for getting ultra rare versions, but this does keep you delving back into packs with your VP points to get those full max rarity versions. It is still nice to see that, you know, when you ride your favourite avatar, aka mine being Blaster Dark, seeing that extra shimmer pop up when you ride into the Vanguard it's just a nice feeling. It just kind of makes it that extra special sort of, you've earned this card.
So that's the game, people.
Yeah, and thank you for having me on your channel today.
You're welcome anytime. It's less work for me to do.
Well, it's something different for us to do. So.
Oh, definitely. I mean, after all, we play the card game religiously, we have fun, and hell, I would comment on the mangas, but they made the series.
Yeah.
Hey ho.
I mean, when you told me you were doing an episode on this game, I kind of well, got really excited that he was going to do this, so I asked him if I could come along for it.
Oh, definitely. It's a great pleasure having you on.
Thank you.
mean, I'd rather have you on this than the next video.
What's next on the agenda?
Calcron, I'm gonna get crucified. I'm gonna get crucified.
Oh my.
It's not good. I'm gonna get crucified in the street by our friends. But no, honestly, you've taught me a lot about the game, because like I said, you've played it and you've taught me quite a lot about it, and honestly, I hope our viewers have enjoyed this, and honestly, can't wait to see more. And if you ever want to come back on, just give us a holler. And I'm pretty sure people will want to go, yeah, get the good one on.
Yeah, and remember,
Stand up! The Vanguard!
Thank you so much for watching this video. Now this is the title card, which you always see at the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, hit subscribe, like, hit the bell for notifications. Check out the Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff I keep plugging out. If you want to see any specific type of game reviewed before my schedule and all that, mess it all up like this one did, please let me know if there's a game that you really want to see. Next month is going to be DBZ Kakarot, which don't get your hopes up for it.
I'm looking forward to it.
I hope you are, because honestly there's going to be someone going, ah, he's right.
Yeah.
So, oh, we're going to burn him in the street today. So once again, I want to thank you very much for watching. I want to thank my special host, Kyle. And honestly, keep watching, and maybe one day we'll see Kyle again in future videos.
Memory card. Yeah.